I was kind of waiting on purpose to tell this, just so I can kind of rehearse a little bit here and there. Because, as we all know, my memory isn't the best, or at least most of you who know me as a person know. But, I thought in one video we would talk about my first relationship, like first one ever since my middle school relationship, which more or less pretty much wasn't a real relationship, so I don't count that anymore. um, but yeah, I'm not gonna mention any names, although in one of my previous story times, names were said in the comments, or quite a bit of information was actually shared in the comments in that one video, which wasn't cool, but you know what, it's whatever. I'm not gonna delete any comments, or I'm not gonna disable the comments on that video either. It's whatever, it's okay. But I thought we would talk about it in this video. I was gonna originally make it a two-parter, but I think I'll save that for my other relationship after this one. But yeah, since I'm not gonna use her real name, even though I don't know if she cares or not, most likely she won't care. But, you know, for just in case purposes, I'm probably just gonna make up a name. But yeah, so the beginning of my junior year, the first few weeks of school, I think it was like the first month of school, and I dyed my hair purple around this time, and it was a lot longer. There's this building with a very long, like a stereotypical high school type of hallway, more or less. And every time I'd walk to my class, which was at the end of the hallway, when I had entered through like the entrance of the building, I'd always notice that there's this group of students that would always look at me. Like, I noticed it a few times, and I think on the 4th or 5th week of school, some kid gave me a note telling me that, oh, my friend likes you and whatnot. And and of course I'm a little surprised, because I'm aware that people do like me, or people can be attracted to me. That's nothing new to me. But what's new to me is somebody actually making the first move, if that makes sense. She pretty much introduced herself in a way. She said that she was interested in being friends, and she gave me her Instagram and Snapchat. At the time, I wasn't too big on Snapchat, so I had her on Instagram. I DM'd her, and there's one thing, I believe it was through text, but I can't remember if it was before or after I met her in person, or talked to her in person. And you know what, for the hell of it, the made-up name can be Sif, I guess. Sif from Norse mythology. It's funny too, because Sif from Norse mythology is like very blonde. A way different physique from this girl. But yeah, Sif told me two very valuable things to know about somebody who you potentially might be dating. She was a freshman, but not only that, she recently turned. Now, sorry, I'm still a little bit sick, but now I feel like this is the part where I'm gonna get a lot of criticism. But you know what? YOLO. Nobody says that anymore, but YOLO. I've said plenty of stuff already back in my early story times that would render me receiving a lot of criticism. I already did. So, and these are story times. This is the point of the whole thing and whatnot, sharing my my life story. So, I'm gonna do it anyway. She recently turned 14, I believe. And mind you, I recently turned, oh my god, I recently turned 17. I believe April was during the summer, like before school even started. And this was like a month in, like a month or two before school started, and this was like a month into the school year that me and Sif started to talk. But yeah, after I found that out, I was like, okay, maybe I might be biting off more than I can chew here. But I gave it some time. Not nearly as much time as I should have, but I gave it a little bit of thinking time. I even talked with some of my friends, and they said, yeah, it's a little bit weird, but hey, if you think about it, a few years from now, that much of an age difference wouldn't even matter. A few years as in, if you were in your like mid-20s and she was in her early 20s, then it wouldn't matter, type of thing. Of course, at that point it wouldn't, but that's like a long way from now. But yeah, after a while, one of my friends convinced me to make the first move. And yeah, I DM'd her, or no, I called her, and then I told her through the call. And I'm like getting all emotional and shit for I was so naive. It's a bit cringy, me getting emotional for that. But yeah. Only like 3 weeks of knowing each other. Yeah, 3 weeks if I'm correct. Do correct me if I'm wrong if you are watching this. Said person who I am talking about in this story. But I believe it was 3 weeks of us knowing each other, and just like that, we started dating. I should have known right off the bat that that was not a good thing, and that was not a smart decision to make. But again, I was naive, and I was partially driven by lust, and driven also by what's it called? The want to feel love, or to feel like you care or are cared about somebody. Like, it was a combination of like all things that make up love that, you know, rendered me wanting to continue with that, to make the decision and then to continue with it. However, okay, well, let's skip like a month, and throughout that month, it was nice for the most part. It was actually pretty good. Me and her, we talked a lot on the phone. We went to downtown Sarasota a lot. And y'all know that I live in Florida already, so yeah. And we did a lot of things in downtown. Like, and there were actually multiple occasions where I would walk to her place. She lived like 4 miles from me, which was cake to me. All I had to do was just listen to music and speed walk my whole way there, and I'd be there in like less than an hour. I remember one time I got there in like 55 minutes. That was pretty interesting. I think it was because I took like a couple shortcuts here and there. But yeah. I would always go to her place and we would hang out. We would, we would mainly either watch YouTube or I would watch her play rhythm games. For the life of me, because god damn it, for the life of me, I cannot remember either of their names. God damn it. Yeah. Now, after that month, it was still okay. Like the month after, it was still good. But then, just out of nowhere, things started to kind of change. Her friends started to be a little bit more just weird around my presence, or whenever I was present. Like, I just get a weird feeling. And then after like a week or so, she then walked up to me, gave me a note, and then quickly walked away. And it was a breakup note. Now, I was a little heartbroken. Yes. Actually, no. Okay, I'm gonna be quite honest. I was pretty damn heartbroken for like the next couple weeks or so. And there's a point in time where I, like, in our spot, like where me and her would sit during lunch at the school, I saw her holding hands with her ex, which I'm pretty sure she didn't want to do in the first place. But me seeing that, I did not react to that well, and I literally almost broke down in tears, like right in front of her. She didn't notice, but after that, I had to leave school. I couldn't focus in any of my classes. She's probably watching this, wondering why I'm not mentioning any of the negatives that happened throughout us actually dating. Because in my eyes, I thought everything was good during the couple or few months that me and her were dating. And I don't remember exactly, but do correct me if it was either 2 or 3 months. It was one of those. But there were times during the relationship where I would cry, or I'd just be very emotional, not because anything bad happened, but because I was just so overwhelmed emotionally. And I'd text her or call her, and she opened my eyes to the fact that she had to deal with me being a very obsessive boyfriend, and a very, very emotional boyfriend as well. And I didn't think about that entirely during the relationship or even after. which is surprising because I always try to look at it from the other person's perspective as well. And I couldn't see that. Like, I could see, like, she couldn't deal with my other negative traits. Like, yes, I can be pretty stubborn. Even my most recent ex said that I can be stubborn sometimes. Although Sif did claim, and her friends as well claimed, that I can be egotistical, or I have a big ego, which I disagree with. Just because you are depressed kids doesn't mean I have to be depressed the same way as you are as well. Like, I just have confidence in myself. I guess for her and her friends, it's hard to tell the difference between having a big ego and just being confident. But yeah. And also, okay, I'm not going to repeat myself entirely, because I already said some of this in my other video. But there is a whole bunch of things wrong with the relationship. She wasn't ready. Or she wasn't well equipped for a relationship. And you know what? Neither was I at the time. I was too naive, and I was too driven by the want of feeling loved, or to feel love for somebody, rather than just letting it be natural. That was one of the biggest mistakes I made, during the start of the relationship, more or less. And she was just, yeah. And I haven't even mentioned, I tried still being friends with her after the relationship. And you know what? I will take full responsibility for this. I'd make it seem like we're still in a relationship, and we're just keeping it a secret from like other people. But I look back at it now, and I know she didn't want that. But she told me that she was okay with it at the time. She never really indicated that it's something that she didn't want. Like, it was not until like way later, before I completely severed ties with her, that I knew that she didn't want that, But yeah. Seth was, back then, as I said, my first love. But it was really, and you know what, I failed to mention this throughout the whole story, but I'm getting close to the end of the story, so I will mention it now, that it all came down to just obsession. That in the end, I was only in love with the idea of love, the idea of loving, and the idea of being loved by somebody, even though she didn't really love me. And I found that out the hard way, and yeah. But I'm not gonna mention anything else, because if anything else like having to do with me and Sif is mentioned, then that's just too much information. This is personal information, especially. So yeah, that's the story. Hope you guys enjoyed the story. For the most part, at least. It's probably boring just listening to me talking about one of my previous relationships. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.